the Beatles. They're literally the most well-known, famous band, and still are 60 years later. They have influenced pop culture so much, and to this day they are referenced in pop culture and just everywhere. They've influenced music so much, and I love the Beatles. In the background, my Beatles posters right there. I love the Beatles, okay? And now I'm kind of going into their discography a little bit more, and now I'm like obsessed with the Beatles right now. Like my favorite is George Harrison, duh. But I have been like going through their, different albums. The album that I haven't really heard a lot about is Beatles for Sale. It's their fourth studio album, and apparently it's like them pulling from a lot more like Bob Dylan-y. I'm really excited to listen to it because I haven't listened to any single song on that album. No one talks about that album, like nobody does. It's not like Abbey Road or Sgt. Pepper's where like people talk about it all the time. It's more like hidden, like I feel like no one talks about that. So today I'm going to be listening to the album, giving my whole rating of each and every song, just giving my overall opinion about the album and like why is it so, I want to answer the questions, why is it so underrated, because it probably is knowing them. Why is it so underrated and why does no one talk about it? I'm gonna take some notes while listening to the album because since I'm posting this on YouTube, I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm not gonna play like the full songs. I'm assuming if you're watching this video you're a Beatles fan, so you probably already know most of this album. You've probably heard it before. I'll probably play like snippets of like little things that I like. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm gonna give a review about the album and just overall why it is so underrated because nobody talks about it. This is my review of Beatles for Sale. I listened to this last night and it was really good, guys. I am in love with this album. I think this album is probably the most underrated album that the Beatles have put out, okay? Like no one talks about this album. I've never heard anyone be like, Beatles for Sale. It's always Abbey Road, Sgt. Pepper. I heard about the other ones. No one, even like the like creators on TikTok, like my mutuals that like the Beatles, no one talks about this album. Like I've never heard anything about this album and I like the Beatles, they're right there. So okay, but this album again, really underrated. I think it was really good and you can tell that they're starting to like diversify their sound a little bit and I can tell their songwriting is starting to pick up, which is good. Beatles for Sale has 14 songs, it's 33 minutes long, and it came out December 4th, 1964, so 60-year-old album. And I'm late to the party, I'm just now listening to it. Okay, so No Reply is the first song on this album, and it's John Lennon vocals, duh. He's gonna be pretty much dominating this album. He's gonna have most of the songs on here. It's a good start to the album. It's cute, it's sweet, it sounds like a lot of their older stuff, like the earlier Beatles, very Please Please Me, very much with the Beatles and Hard Day's Night. It's cute, it's very cute. I said short and sweet. I literally said short and sweet. Again, very cute. I like this one a lot. Track number 2 is I'm a Loser. So this one's John singing. Okay, shocker. I said this one is very Bob Dylan and it's very similar to Help. So this one, like the structure of the song is very similar to Help. Like it has happy tune, sad lyrics, but it's like very Help in the way that like it kind of sounds similar to Help. If you listen to Help and I'm a Loser, very similar, because Help is about like John being like insecure and like he's not in a good space mentally, and then I'm a Loser is also singing about like he's a loser. I love the guitar solo on this one, and then obviously this one has harmonica in it, which is why I think I said it was Bob Dylan, or I said he was trying to sound like Bob Dylan. I don't know. Yeah, there's harmonica on this one, which, I'm rocking with, but also not a big fan of the harmonica. Okay, number 3, Babies in Black. This one's John and Paul on vocals, and the guitar solo is good. This one's like really simple, but it's good, and I like this one. And I said I like the Mick Lennon vocals. The vocals are really good. I will say something, probably my least favorite on this album. I'm not saying like this song is bad, I'm just saying there's better songs on this album, and this one kind of is lacking in what, I don't know, for me it doesn't have the catchiness. I feel like if I listen to it a bunch of times it'll get more catchier, but for now it's a little bit like, okay, there's better songs on here, which again, taking us to track number 4, which is Rock and Roll Music. Y'all, this one's good. This one, again, this is why like I'm ranking Babies in Black probably as my least favorite because rock and roll music is so good. This one's John vocals, duh. I said it's very rock and roll, duh. I said I love this one. It's a very happy tune. Like there's really no sadness involved in it, but it's very happy, dancey music. There's a piano in here also, and John's vocals are very, very good. The vibe is just very, very good on this one. I love it. I'm in love. Okay, track number 5 is I'll Follow the Sun. This one is very Paul McCartney, okay? Paul's on vocals. This one's so cute, guys. This one's really, really cute. And I don't know who did the background vocals on this one. I said I love George's background vocals. I don't know if it was George or John, I don't remember. It's very hard to distinguish their vocals when it's in the background. So I don't know who did this one, but very, very good. Paul's voice, oh my god. I just said Paul's voice, OMG. Like, that's all I said. Who knows what that means. I like this one. This one is cute. And then this one has a short guitar solo, which I think is really, really good. Yeah, I'll Follow the Sun is very Paul McCartney, I will say that. It's very cutesy, very much like Paul. Next is Mr. Moonlight. This one is good. This one's good. John's vocals on he obviously is doing vocals. This one's a cover, actually. This isn't their song. They did a cover. The piano in the background is really good, which I think it's an organ actually, and Paul plays the organ, and he has like an organ solo, and I feel like it's really, really good. And I said this one is so cute. John's voice is really good in this one, and then basically like the organ, piano, whatever is really, really good. I mentioned like I think whenever the Beatles add like piano in their songs, it's very Let It Be. If you watch like the Get Back documentary on Disney Plus, it literally shows them coming up with the songs for this album, and they were like at like a lull, like they were not getting along with each other, and then Billy Preston comes in, he does keyboard, and that kind of makes the whole album. This album is really good, and I think part of the reason is because they had Billy Preston doing the piano on this album, and I think them adding piano or them adding organ for Mr. Moonlight, again, really, really good. Okay, next is Kansas City, Hey Hey Hey. This one is a Paul song, and it's very rock and roll vibe. I love this one. This one, again, very good, happy tune. This one has a guitar and piano. And then Paul has a really raspy voice. Usually Paul's voice is very angelic and cute. Like in I'll Follow the Sun, it's very cute and, you know, happy. This one's a little more raspy. Paul does like a scream. He does like his like typical like early Beatles like wah. George's guitar solo was really good in this one. And then again, very rock and roll. In Hey Hey Hey, because they're technically 2 different songs, but like put into one, Paul has like a whiny voice. And then I said I know the girls in the 60s went crazy, because girl, I did too. You know, I know the girls went crazy when Paul started doing that raspy voice. Like, come on. Track number 8, 8 Days a Week. This one's good. John and Paul vocals on this one, and then like I said, the vibe is really early Beatles. This one's super cute, and then I said it was early Beatles because they started clapping. Very Please Please Me, you know, they started doing like the guitar is simple, but it serves the song. Very, very cute. This one's cute. I love this one. It's, again, simple, but I feel like their simple songs are also what make the early Beatles, you know what I mean? Like I wrote a lot. Okay, so track number 9 is this one. This one might be one of my favorites on this album. It's so good. It's so good. This one's really, really good. This one's Words of Love, and I said it's George Harrison vocals. I think it's George and John doing like kind of simultaneously vocals. It sounds a lot like George, which is why I'm saying it's George, but like again, George and John have similar voices. But you know, you can usually tell, but in this one I can't. There's 2 people singing. I'm pretty sure it's George and John. So I said that. I said George Harrison vocals. The guitar on this one's really cute. Apparently this one was written by Buddy Holly or for Buddy Holly. I don't remember which one. But Buddy Holly has something to do with the song, so it sounds very Buddy Holly too. It sounds very 50s. Guitar is great, obviously. George's vocals are really good, and they're singing, George and John are singing in a lower register, which, y'all, I think that's really good. I love this song. This one is so good. I love the lower register. It just like perfectly like makes the song. I feel like if they were singing in the regular like higher register, it wouldn't work as well. The next one is Honey Don't, track 10, Honey Don't. This one's cool because it's the Ringo song on the album. So Ringo's on vocals, and the guitar on this one is very good. This one's very rock and roll. It's also very Please Please Me, very early Beatles. George's guitar solo is very good. Ringo sounds like Bob Dylan. I said Ringo sounds like Bob Dylan. I feel like they're trying to, you know, do more American folk on this album, and he kind of sounds like Bob Dylan, but I don't know if that's just Ringo being Ringo. And then I said this one's simple but cute, and then George has 2 guitar solos. So basically when George is doing the guitar solos, if you listen to Please Please Me, there's this song on there called Boys, and Ringo's singing that one, and he says like, come on George, or like rock on George, and George starts doing his guitar solo. And on this one, Honey Don't, Ringo does that again. So I think that's really cute. He says like, come on George, it's so cute, and he does that twice. And so, you know, he has 2 guitar solos. And then I think Ringo, this one's very simple, like again, the lyrics are very simple, it's catchy. I usually give Ringo like the simpler songs because he doesn't sing as well as the others, which I don't know if that's like, okay, like I don't know if they wrote it, he wrote it, but this one's simple and Ringo does well on this song. Yeah, it's very simple, cute. Again, the guitar solo is very good. Track 11, Every Little Thing. Okay, this one I have some things to say. John Lennon on vocals, duh. The piano on this one's very good. The guitar solo, top tier. The guitar solos are just very good on the album in general. Ringo on drums, because there's this like one part like during like I think the chorus where like the drums go like da-dun. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's very like da-dun. It sounds better, and it's actually really good, and I think it serves the song well, and I think it adds something new to the sound, and I like that. Paul's harmonies are good. I don't know if it's actually Paul doing harmonies. I think it is. It sounds like Paul. The harmonies are good, and the guitar solo is also really good. I said, and this one's cute. Also, most of these songs are very cute. Okay, track 12. I don't want to spoil the party. John vocals, very American folk, very Bob Dylan-y. The drums on this one are good. I love John's vocals on this one, so good. And then George ate his guitar solo. Oh my god, he like ate it up. I don't know, he ate it so hard. This one sounds very early Beatles. Again, some of these sound very early Beatles, some of them sound like they're trying to, you know, go in a different direction, and some of them sound very rock and roll-y, kind of more 50s-ish. Again, very diverse album, if you will. Again, is very American folk. They're trying something new. They're trying to diversify their sound, and I enjoy that. I respect them for that. I like that. Thank you, Bob Dylan. Track number 13, What You're Doing. This one is okay. This one's good. This one is Paul's vocals. Guitar on this one is so good. Intro of this song is really good, and the drums on this one are so fire. Okay. Whoever did like the background vocals of like ooh, ate so hard. I don't know who it is, probably George and John. Whoever did that ate. Paul's voice is literally angelic, okay? Voice is so pretty, okay? Which is such a contrast to like Kansas City Hey Hey, because his voice was a little more raspy, whiny, while this one is more angelic and pretty. The piano and the guitar, yes. So the piano and the guitar on this one had like a solo together, so like the guitar was having a solo while the piano was going like do-do-do-do. So I like this one. And then very happy tune but sad lyrics, which is a very common theme with a lot of Beatles songs, especially their early days. And the outro was really good as well. Okay, next, track 14. Y'all, we made it to the end. 14 is the last song. This one is probably one of my favorites again. This one is Everyone's Trying to Be My Baby. It's George Harrison vocals, so good. I said very rock and rolly, it's very 50s, very rock and rolly. The echo on his voice is so good. Like when you listen to the song, George Harrison's vocals has like an echo when he's singing. It's very good. It starts the song. The guitar is also very good. This is a very dancey, again, 50s dancing song. Like I just want to get up and dance. Guitar solo is very good, and the song is simple, but it's like very good. And I said low-key Elvis sounding, and they ate this one up, and the outro ate up. The outro for the song ate so hard. I said very Elvis-y, because again, it sounds very 50s-y. This one doesn't sound like American folk. This one sounds very 50s-y, like very rock and roll, early Beatles. Love this one. And I think George ate really hard. I think they, you know, I think he wrote the song. Again, the song is really good, and it's one of my favorites. I listened to it right before recording, and I'm like, this is fire. Overall, I say that this album is definitely such a good album. Okay, this is so underrated. Nobody talked about this album, and I was like, okay, is it bad? Like, is it just like not, you know? I think this album is really good. It's so good, and this album actually has 0 skips, even though I did say I didn't really Babies in Black wasn't really like my favorite song. I still wouldn't skip it. It's still a good tune, and I still, you know, rock on with that song. Very good. Again, 0 skips. The album vibes are just very good. It's very happy, you know, the tunes are happy. There's no really so sad songs yet. Like they haven't really made any like super sad songs yet, even though like the lyrics are sad, the tunes are still happy, and like that's why I love the vibes of this album. Very happy album, very good album to like just listen to, you know. It's a very short album as well, but it's a very good album to listen to just get yourself in a good, happier mood. I love this album, especially the rock and roll songs. They ate those up. I feel like those are my favorite songs off this album because again, I really enjoy the rock and roll songs from them, and I think it's really good. This is when you can start to tell that they're starting to diversify their sound and their music a little more by like the American folk song with I don't want to spoil the party, and just like other things. Like I think No Reply also kind of sounds a little like Bob Dylan, and you know, I think they're starting to sound a little bit more, they're trying to like diversify their sound and just make it like different and trying to like not just do the same thing over and over again, which I appreciate. This is when in the Beatles history they start to really get their songwriting down, you know, and I think they start to, you know, have more complex songs, and I feel like this album is a very good sort of start to that. They're entering that era, you know. And then like the next album is Help, which is when obviously like it's very rock and roll, but also they start doing more like complex songs with like Yesterday and all that stuff. Yeah, I said very folk sounding songs, but like while keeping it the classic rock and roll Beatles sound, which I enjoy. And I don't really have a favorite because so many are really good. I said 10 out of 10 albums, so underrated. I think this album is so underrated, guys. Please listen to it, please. This album is so good. This album is very good. I think that I don't know why no one talks about this album. I feel like I never really heard anything about this album really, like, ever. This album is such a good, I don't know how to describe it. This album is really good. I think the issue with why this album didn't get, or it probably did really well obviously when they first put it out, but I think the reason why no one really talks about this album is because it's right in between Hard Day's Night and Help, which again are very popular albums by them, and also I think that's probably part of the reason why. But again, I feel like it's very underrated. No one talks about this one as much as they should, and yeah, a very great album. I love this album. Probably, you know, it's very up there with like a Hard Day's Night. I love Hard Day's Night, and I love Help, and I love Please Please Me. I love early Beatles. This album really much combines the early Beatles to like their not older stuff, but this connects like the early Beatles to like, you know, American folk, which I enjoy also. And it's just like, it's very Beatles-y, which I enjoy. They kept it very Beatles-y. They kept it simple, they kept it good. Also they're starting to diversify their sound, and I really enjoy that. So overall, 10 out of 10 album. I love it. Okay, I've been listening to it all day. It's so good. Okay, it's literally so good. I had so much fun making this video. It was so fun to make. It was so good to just like do something that I'm passionate about, that like it's not trending on YouTube to like do album reviews right now. Because like why would it be popular? It's not. But I want to do something that I enjoy, and I really enjoy music, and I think like sitting down and actually listening to a full album with notes, you know, listening to it multiple times, having different notes on it, I think it's really good. And I think, you know, there are albums that I have not listened to from the Beatles. Beatles for Sale was one of them. I listened to 2 songs on Sgt. Pepper. I haven't listened to the full thing. If you guys want me to do a deep dive on all of the Beatles albums, Sgt. Pepper, Rubber Soul, 3 other albums from the Beatles that I have not really dived deep into, like I've listened to like songs from them and I have them saved on my phone, but like I haven't listened to like the full album, like I haven't gotten the full effect. Versus Beatles for Sale, I've never heard anything about this album. So, but if you want me to do like the other albums and listen to those albums in full and in order and give a review of it, give my opinion, I will. I'll do it because it was so fun, you guys. This video was really fun to make, and it was simple to make, like it was really easy. So let me know if you guys want me to do that, if this video does well, maybe. I'm gonna have a vlog coming out on Sunday. This video is probably gonna be posted on Thursday. That's probably when I'm gonna try and get it out. And yeah, I'll have the vlog out Sunday. If you guys want me to do this again, I will totally do this again. This is so fun. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.